It usually starts with the sound of relentless scratching. Your dog whines, tilts their head, and shakes so violently you hear their ears flapping. You lift the ear flap to investigate and find a distinct landscape of irritation. Raw, red tissue coated in a thick, dark discharge that looks exactly like coffee grounds. This is a cross-section of a healthy canine ear canal, naturally regulating its own flora and moisture. But this ecosystem has been hijacked. Microscopic parasites known as ear mites have moved in, triggering an opportunistic overgrowth of yeast and bacteria. While conventional medicine often relies on heavy chemical drops to instantly wipe out the pests, a holistic approach works by systematically altering the environment itself. By methodically reclaiming the ear's terrain, we change the conditions so that these pathogens naturally lose their ability to thrive. A healthy dog's ear is naturally slightly alkaline. However, once mites or moisture tip that balance, it becomes the exact environment where infections flourish. On this pH scale, diluted apple cider vinegar pulls the environment into a mildly acidic zone, halting yeast and bacterial growth. This acidic shift also acts as a solvent, dissolving the dense, impacted wax blocking the ear canal. For more sensitive dogs, brewed green tea provides a gentler alternative. When cooled, it functions as a natural antiseptic, flushing out debris without the intensity of vinegar. It is critical to remember that apple cider vinegar must always be diluted 50-50 with water. It should never be used if the skin is raw or the eardrum is suspected to be ruptured, as the acidity will cause intense pain. Resetting this chemical baseline creates a stable foundation, ensuring the ear doesn't immediately slide back into an infectious state after cleaning. With the environment stabilized, we can address the mites directly. This is where heavy carrier oils, like olive, almond, or coconut oil, become the primary tool for eradication. These oils work through simple physics. Filling the canal with a viscous fluid physically envelops the mites, cutting off their oxygen supply and suffocating them. Infusing these oils with crushed garlic adds a secondary layer of defense. Garlic contains natural sulfur, which functions as a potent antiparasitic repellent to help clear the area. We can also introduce yellow dock root. As an astringent, it helps cool the inflamed tissue and clears the microscopic waste left behind by the parasites. By using these principles of fluid dynamics and plant chemistry, we can disrupt the infestation's progress without relying on synthetic pesticides to do the work. Even after the active parasites are addressed, the physical landscape of the ear is often ravaged by the dog's scratching and the damage caused by the pests. To repair this tissue, we use targeted botanical soothers, specifically pure aloe vera gel and calendula tincture. At a cellular level, these plants reduce localized inflammation and accelerate the repair of damaged tissue layers. While the tissue heals, they provide a gentle antimicrobial barrier, protecting the vulnerable ear from secondary infections. This phase completes the cycle. By repairing the damaged tissue, we remove the final vulnerabilities left behind by the infestation. Clearing the immediate active mites is only the start. The real challenge lies in the unhatched eggs that remain cemented inside the ear canal, unaffected by the initial cleaning. This timeline charts the 21-day biological life cycle of the ear mite. Mites hatch in staggered phases, so a single treatment isn't enough. A holistic protocol, using diluted yellow dock every 3 days, must be maintained for 6 weeks, eliminating newly hatched larvae before they can mature. Short-term fixes often lead to a cycle of reinfection because the eggs are left to hatch. This long-term management is what actually ends the infestation. Using common kitchen staples and traditional botanicals provides a sophisticated way to manage your dog's health without complex chemicals. By managing the ear as a dynamic ecosystem, you create an environment where health is sustained naturally, finally giving your dog's ears the lasting relief they need.